Welcome to the 15-minute tired mom reset. So this workout is made for you if you have a low energy day to day and you need a little bit of extra motivation to do something that's quite energizing and not necessarily the big strength that's gonna get you tired. Let's dive in. Okay, so we're going to start laying on our back today. I want your spine to be neutral. What does it mean? It just means that if I were to put a glass of water on your lower belly area, it wouldn't fall on you or it wouldn't fall away from you, okay? So it should be relatively comfortable. You should have a little less pressure in the lower lumbar spine area over here and a bit more pressure into the sacrum. Hands are going to be on the floor. You're going to have your scapula nice and relaxed into the mat, and your feet are hip width apart onto the mat. Inhale deep to prepare through the nose. And then as you exhale, you're going to pull your pubic bone to your belly button. You're going to engage your glutes a little bit, and you're going to lift your bum off the floor to come up one bone at a time into a bridge position. So you have a line from the scapula to the tips of your knees. And then on the way down, we exhale. So you're going to sink the sternum first, upper back, middle of the back, and then at the very last you're going to put your lower back on the mat and come back into that neutral position. Make sure you don't keep sort of the pelvis tilted like that, okay? You want to relax. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, come up one bone at a time. You can feel also a little engagement in your pelvic floor. So come up, articulate the spine up. Inhale at the top. And as you exhale, you roll down. So you really want to put some length and some space in between each and every of your vertebrae. And when you put your bum back down, relax those glute muscles. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, pull your pubic bone toward yourself without using your glutes, just the abs at first. Now that you lift the bum, you can engage your glutes a little. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll down, nice and slow. Try to keep your collarbones wide and your shoulders or scapula anchored into the mat. Inhale at the bottom, and then on the next one, we're going to add the arms. So exhale, come up into your bridge position. Inhale, let your arms float all the way to the floor through the ceiling. And careful not opening your ribs. Keep your abs connected. As you exhale, you go down with your spine, keeping your arms above that vertical. Come back into neutral with your pelvis and inhale. Let the arms come back. Exhale, tilt the pelvis backward. Come up one bone at a time. Let your arms float and keep that gentle abdominal connection. Don't let your ribs open. And now exhale, roll down. And once your pelvis is down, inhale, bring the hands back on. Two more. Exhale, tilt the pelvis back, engage the glutes a little, come up, lengthen through the knees over here. Inhale while you let your arms float. Exhale, roll down, lengthen that spine onto the mat, and come back down to neutral. Inhale, let the arms come in. Last one. Pull the pubic bone to you, come up one bone at a time. Inhale, let the arms float, keep the control over the abdominals. Exhale, roll down, keep that control through the abs, and inhale the arms. Now, your arms are going to stay where they are. We're going to work the hamstrings and the glutes a little bit more. So you want to inhale through the nose to prepare. Exhale, tilt the pelvis backward, come up one bone at a time. Okay? Inhale, prepare. Exhale, bring one leg to tabletop. Exhale, you're going to lower that leg toward the floor, only as far as you can handle it. Inhale, come back in. What you want is to keep that glute engaged and to keep the abs pulling. So you want to keep that pubic bone pulling to the belly button and the glute engaged to prevent your pelvis from and your back from arching, because that could give you lower back pain, okay? Exhale, low. Inhale, up. And 4. And 3. And 2. One more. All right, put it all the way down. Inhale. Exhale, take a little break, let it go all the way down. Let's grab your knees to your chest for a bit of release. Remember, today is a low energy day, so I'm going to give you loads of breaks. I'm going to give your body a lot of cuddles and stretches. All right, both legs back down. Let's do the other side. Through the nose, inhale, prepare. Exhale, come up one more at a time. Once you're up, inhale, bring the left leg or the other leg to tabletop. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. So if you see, the pelvis should be really stable. You're not coming up and down with your leg, okay? And 4. And then we're going to 10. 5. And 5. 4. 3. And 2. And 1. And down. Inhale here, exhale, roll back down. Alright, we're going to take this a little step up. So again, inhale, prepare. Exhale, up, tilt the pelvis backward. Engage your glutes a little to come up. And now as you inhale, you're going to straighten the right leg to the ceiling. You're going to flex the foot, and on the exhale, you're going to go down all the way to where the other thigh is. From here, you're going to point and come back up. And 2. Watch out here, because as your right leg goes down, your right hip is going to want to sink. You really want to avoid that. You keep your hips squared, okay? And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. 1 more. Bend the leg down. Exhale. Lower back. Yeah. Now open your legs a little wider. Hands to the ceiling. And before we do the other side, just going to let your knees fall to one side and your head in the opposite direction. Don't go too far. It shouldn't hurt your lower back, okay? Should be some form of a little release. Alright, back to center. Hands alongside your body. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, tilt the pelvis backwards. Come up one bone at a time in your bridge position. And inhale, lengthen the left leg to the ceiling. Flex the foot down. Exhale. Point in, up. Out, down. Inhale, up. 3. The pelvis is stable. 4. And 5. 5 more. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Up you go. Tabletop. Leg down and roll down. Alright, excellent. Now, we're going to stretch the back of the thighs a little bit to release all the tension around the pelvis area. So I want you to grab behind the right thigh toward your chest. Okay, you're going to keep that thigh close to your chest, and in the meantime, you're going to pretend you want to straighten the right leg. And bend. So unless you're a professional ballerina or some sort of a contortionist, you won't be able to straighten your leg, and that's normal, okay? Because you're keeping that thigh so close to your chest, you should really feel the hamstring stretch. So from the glute to behind the knee. Now you straighten the leg and you let the thigh get away, and that way you can properly straighten the leg. Bring your toes toward yourself. And bend. Down. Let's do the other side. So again, you hold onto your thigh, you bring it close to your chest, and you straighten, and you bend. So don't overthink the breathing at this stage. Really, just you do whatever works, and whatever feels comfortable. Now you let the thigh get away from your chest. You straighten the leg to the ceiling, and you try to bring your toes to your nose. And you breathe. Alright, let's do some abs. I'm only 3 months postpartum, so I'm going to do some postpartum friendly abs for this session and the next few weeks until I feel totally rehabilitated. So inhale, prepare. As you exhale, you're going to bring your right leg to tabletop. Inhale, bring it down. So and you're going to alternate legs. D'accord? Exhale, up. Inhale, down. what I want you to feel here is that your spine stays neutral. So when you lift your leg, it shouldn't bring your back into an arch position, okay? Your abs should hold you so that your torso stays really up until the hips stable. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. And 4 more. So you should feel a deep connection. Okay, you should always aim at engaging your pelvic floor. Then you want to pull your belly button in and up, and then the ribs kind of come and close off the little abdominal corset here. Okay, now depending on where you are in your postpartum journey, this could be enough. Okay, if you feel like adding some challenge to it, you're going to exhale, bring the right leg to tabletop. If you need the support, you can hold the right leg while you bring the left leg up. Okay, if you feel strong enough, as you exhale, you bring the left leg up to meet it. And we're going to reverse the movement. So let's start first by holding one leg. Okay, because if you're early in your postpartum journey, this could really help you find an in between. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, lower the left leg toward the floor. Inhale, come back up. And again, now you only want to go as far as your body will let you. Some of you, it's going to be just this, a tiny movement. And some of you, it's going to be all the way to the floor. And for some of you, it's going to be way too easy. Okay? We're all at different journeys. Exhale down. Different part of our journeys. Exhale down. Inhale up. And you really want to keep that core control. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. And let's swap side. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lower the leg. You want to keep that 90-degree angle behind the knee. Okay, imagine you have like an apple or an orange behind your knee and you don't want it to fall. Okay, that will prevent you from opening and closing the angle. And 5. And 4. 3. And 2. 1 more. Okay. Now let's progress this a little if you can. So if this was enough for you, while I do the next session, you just keep on doing what we just did, okay? Now for the other ones, you're going to have your hands alongside your body onto the mat. You're going to exhale, you're going to lower the right leg toward the floor. Inhale, come back up. Exhale down. It's pretty much what we just did, but without holding your legs. If you start this, but you feel some pain in your back, or you feel like it doesn't feel right just yet, feel free to just go back to what we just did. And 4. And in and up, belly button in and up. Pelvic floor, belly button, close off with the ribs. 3. And 2. And 1. Okay, a little break. Knees to chest. Give yourself a little right to left. A little swing. Alright. We're going to put the left leg on the floor. And we're going to keep the right leg in our hand. We're going to extend the toes to the ceiling. And we're going to climb on this leg like a little monkey would climb on a tree. The left leg is going to straighten and just hover off the floor. Now you want to be as solid as you can in your abs, okay? Shoulders away from your ears. And you're sort of pulling on this leg to bring yourself up. Don't pull on the neck too much. You really want to look at your pubic bone here. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, cross the legs and extend. Inhale, swap. Exhale, extend. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Now stay here, bend the right leg, left hand inside the knee, right hand on the outside. You're going to bend the left leg to come in, you're going to swap the hands on the left leg and straighten the right. Inhale, swap, exhale, extend. 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1, and relax. You're going to put your hands on your knees, and I want you to press onto these knees as if you wanted to get the femur bone inside the hip socket, okay? And you're going to pull the legs toward you, let them open, and then finish the circle. You want to put pressure on your knees because if you don't, your abs are going to be working hard to do the movement, but the goal here is to mobilize the hips and remove all tension around these muscles. So you want your hands and arms to be holding those knees. All right, reverse the circles. Okay, breathe as you wish for this one. So no pressure exercise. Now if you want to work your brain coordination a little, you're going to do 8 figures. So you're going to pull one knee, push the other one, and then do opposite side circles. We'll do 4 in one direction, 3, and 4. And we're going to do 4 in the other direction. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, legs down. And let's move on to the next part of the exercise today. Right, now we're going to work on all 4, okay? So I want your knees to be underneath your hips and your wrists to be underneath your shoulders. Now if you're like me and you're a little over flexible in your upper body joints, just make sure you have your elbows pointing outwards, okay? You want your shoulders to be away from your ears, and you don't want to be sunk toward the mat. You want to be pushing the mat away from you without rounding your back, okay? So it's a lot I'm asking you. You can lower the scapula toward the hips, belly button goes in and up, the ribs are closing, okay? So you're nice and neutral, and you don't let your head forward like a turtle. You pull it back of the head toward the ceiling. And you look straight in between your hands. Not that you have the perfect positioning. Inhale, prepare. As you exhale, you're going to round your back, push into your hands, and stretch. And as you inhale, you're going to lower your shoulder far away from your ears. You're going to lift your gaze and look at the front, and you can let go of your belly muscles this time. Now exhale, start with the pelvis, round your lower back, then the head follows. Now push into these hands, belly button to the ceiling. Inhale, come back in. One more. All right, back to neutral, back to the center. You're going to push in the left hand, open the right hand to the ceiling. And you're going to dive under in between your armpit and your hip to bring your shoulder toward the floor. One more. And dive under. Now let's swap side. Inhale, you open the left hand to the ceiling. And then you dive and you bring your shoulder toward the floor. This is so nice. And you open. And you dive. Alright, one last little stretch before we work a little bit more. You can open your knees, I would say shoulder width apart. Feet are together, and you're going to come and sit on those heels. You're going to reach forward with your palm of your hands, and then you're going to press these palms into the mat. And you should feel a lot of release around the scapula. For all the new moms, you get a lot of tension in that part of your back from the milk coming in or from just holding a baby all day long. So this is really nice. Now you stay in the same position, but you're going to walk both your hands to the right. And you're going to pull far away with your left hand so that you feel all the little muscles between the ribs under the scapula on the left hand side. And now you move to the other side. Feel the stretch, it is nice. Alright, let's keep working. So you're going to come back on all 4. So think of what we said before. Let's call that the table position. So your knees under your hips, wrists under your shoulders, scapula are down away from your ears, and you're pushing away from the mat to keep your scapula, like your bones over in the back, really wide. Okay? Belly button in and up. Inhale, prepare. As you exhale, you're going to slowly move your left hand and your right leg opposite directions, but keeping your table position. As you inhale, you come back down, but I want you to imagine it like you're moving through thick mud. Okay, you're not moving too fast. And you're going to alternate right hand, left leg. Inhale, come back down. And 3 more. You want to seek length rather than height. Okay, this will help you keep the back neutral as well and not arch and tilt the pelvis. And in you go. Now we're going to go to finish the last exercise today for a little quadruped push-up. So you're going to imagine there's a line between your hands, okay? And there's a light shining out of your sternum. Now you want the light shining above the line, so you're going to come forward on your hands. And then you're going to inhale, you're going to dive forward. Touch the nose on the mat if you can. Exhale, come back up. And bring the sternum shining over that line again. And exhale, we come forward. I would say inhale, we go down. Elbows inward towards your rib. Exhale, we come up. Inhale, back to center. I think you got at least 4 more. Three more. Dive forward and down. Exhale, up. Try to keep your feet on the mat. I know it's not easy. 3 more. And in. And 2 more. Inhale down. Exhale up. Here we go. I think this is the last one, but I'm a terrible counter. In true Pilates teacher fashion. And we are done. You can sit on your heels again. Open the knees up a little. Give yourself a nice stretch. You managed to do it today, even though you probably didn't feel like you had a lot of energy. Now you can go on about your day. Thank you for moving with me.